together.
Well,
I don't think, you have to pick either one. So I think Tom Yum.
True, but think about this, Chevy. We've got fusion. We use the beef in the Tom Yum.
That's what I'm worried about, because beef in the Tom Yum and then what it does to your tummy, your stomach, it's not very healthy.
Just doesn't go.
No, not at all. Yeah.
As we see more of the Argentinian fans.
Yeah, and that guy's got Diego Maradona poster as well.
PJ is here, yeah.
Brilliant.
PJ, can you get mic'd up, please? Shafi wants to talk to you.
That'll be a picture, innit? Look at that. Ah, brilliant.
Diego Armando Maradona when he was fit.
It's possibly 1986 World Cup.
Yeah. Before he started powdering his nose. I know that kid. His dad works here and he went to watch the Boca Juniors in Malacca against United. Yeah.
I'm sure he did.
He was on crazy. He's
got a Diego Maradona hairdo as well.
Safe to say that perhaps Maradona has been to Malaysia, yes. Shabby.
Young Maradona. This was taken 47 years ago. Well, 37, because that's a 10-year-old. So.
Apparently his name is Diego Jr. Good evening and a very warm welcome to Star Sports Live and exclusive coverage of the KL World Fives 2008. It's day 5 here at Stadium Negara, the capital, Malaysia, and it's between Argentina and Thailand. It's the first Cup semi-final. Now let's take a look at how Argentina made their way to the semi-finals. They were the winner of Group A, undefeated, and they started the tournament with a comprehensive win over England. But at the end, at the very last minute, a draw against Australia, a wonder goal from the goalkeeper, 𝐂𝐨𝐻𝐵𝐻. Now let's take a look at Group B. The runners-up from there is Thailand, and perhaps the surprise team of the tournament. They had a fantastic play so far, but the last match there, a comprehensive win over Iran, once again in the last minute as well. A wonder goal from captain Hanuat. And once again joining me is ex-Malaysian international Shabby Singh. Shabby, on paper, the Argentinians would be too good for the Thais, but it's a close match to call, isn't it?
It is too close to call. I mean, if you take away the Thailand-Iran game, and you would have thought Argentina would be hot favourites to play Thailand. But after that Thai performance against Iran, you cannot take them lightly. Thailand also ran Brazil very, very close. I thought for the first 10 minutes against Brazil, it was, it was Thailand. Watching Thailand was like watching Brazil. I mean, they are the Brazil of Southeast Asia. And when they went out there and put in that great performance against Iran, I can tell you that this match perhaps is going to be the closest in the competition.
As we see both teams making their way to the pitch now. Interesting team news for Thailand as well. The twins are both starting 𝐴𝐾𝐿 and 𝐴𝐾𝐿, but perhaps you were saying, Shabby, earlier, suspensions may hurt Thailand very badly.
Yes, indeed. Two key players, in my opinion. One is the goalkeeper, Surapong, the first choice goalkeeper. He's got a broken wrist. And number 14, 𝐵𝐻𝐻, he is suspended due to a red card against Iran. So two big losses in my opinion, because they have got one or two players who perhaps are not the most mobile, especially Anucha Manjaran. He is very useful when he comes on as a sub, but he lacks the mobility. So the advantage here, because of fitness reasons, is with Argentina.
And Thailand has definitely done themselves proud this tournament, especially for Asia in general, getting to the semi-finals and facing Argentina. But when you mention a team like Argentina, that player just Christian Baruto, so far the top scorer with 9 goals at the moment.
He is simply unbelievable. I mean, he's made for a futsal player. And I can tell you that he will be looking at the goals. He is very, very tricky. He's got wonderful skills and he's very calm and composed in front of goal.
And it doesn't hurt to have another player in your team that can back the goals as well. 7 goals so far in the form of Vaporaki.
Yeah, Vaporaki is another one. You know, if too much attention is paid to Boruto, Vaporaki does come up with the goals. And it's interesting to see that the captain Godoy has decided to get rid of a very bad haircut by shaving it all off.
Well, worst comes to worst, the goalkeeper can score goals too. Elias is the only one so far.
Oh, Elias, unbelievable, really. I mean, a toe poke from 15 meters against Australia for the equalizer. So there's goals aplenty in that Argentinian team.
And lots of action coming to you live from Stadium Negara in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It's the first Cup semi-final, Argentina versus Thailand. Now let's head over to pitch side for the national anthem of both teams.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Argentina.
Semi-final here at Stadium Negara, the KL World Fives, Argentina versus Thailand. Let's head over to your commentary team, Chevy Singh, BJ Roberts.
World Fives. Here are your team lists. First up, coming up is Argentina. It is the same lineup that drew 3-3 with Australia yesterday. Elias, Belcito, Taffarel, Godoy, and Boruto. Let's meet the lads.
Mi nombre es Santiago Elías y soy el arquero de la selección argentina de futsal. Mi nombre es Mauro Tafarel y soy el cierre de la selección.
Mi nombre es José Luis Godoy, soy el capitán, soy el número 8, mi posición es universal.
Mi nombre es Cristian Boruto, mi posición es universal.
And here is your Thailand starting five. As Chevy mentioned, Surapong, the goalkeeper, he has a broken arm. He is missing, as also is 𝐂𝐴𝐺𝐿. He received a red card. Let's meet the players.
ปริญญา ปั้นดี โกลคีปเปอร์ ณัฐพล สุทธิโรจน์ ฟิกโซ อนุวัฒน์ จันทา อาร่า เอกพันธ์ สุรัตน์สว่าง อาร่า เอกพงศ์ สุรัตน์สว่าง อาร่า
And 𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐿, he is definitely one of the key players, their top goal scorer with 5 goals. Thailand making their way into this first Cup semi-final after that tremendous result last night, that 3-2 win over Iran. And there is the Thailand coach, 𝐵𝐴𝐺𝐿. He is very focused. And joining me in the commentary booth is Chevy Singh as we look at the Argentine coach, Jose Fernando Taranyaga. And Chevy, we are truly in for a treat tonight.
Indeed it is. I mean, this is going to be, for me, the best match of the competition. I can tell you, we've seen both the teams perform. Argentina had to dig very, very deep against Australia, and likewise Thailand were in no means second best to Iran. So for me, you don't want to miss this, because there'll be plenty of skills, and the twins for Thailand are the ones to look out for.
We see here 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐸. Early opportunity here for Argentina, and 𝐬𝐲𝐵, we know that Argentina had a very, very tough game yesterday against Australia. It was a 3-3 draw. It was very physical. It was very intense. 𝐕-𝐻𝐸 was dished out a number of hard challenges. Do you think fatigue may be a factor as this game goes on for Argentina?
Well, if anything, I mean, it will be a disadvantage for Thailand, who played very much later in the day yesterday, and also missing key players in Surabaya and 𝐻𝐸. For the Argentinians, they will want to come out here and try to settle the issue early. That's a good strike from Pembuatan Janta, the captain. He's got a wonderful left foot. He did score from a penalty against Iran.
And Pembuatan, as you've just mentioned, two very early strikes. A very well-worked set piece there from the corner kick. Just scooping it up for Pembuatan to volley at first time, and he has hit that very nice, 𝐬𝐲𝐵.
Indeed, he has. Enough to worry 𝐿𝐻𝐵, who had to go down very, very quickly to his right. And this match is living up to its billing. You've got wonderful skills on display. None better than this man on the ball, Cristian Boruto.
And 𝐕-𝐻𝐸 drawing the foul there. He certainly is a very, very clever player. Certainly renowned for his technical ability, but 𝐬𝐵 is also very strong on the ball and holds off players so well.
He is. I mean, you know, we mistake that very, very light build of his. He is very strong. And he really is the one that you've got to look out for. But the goals will be shared around. Vaporaki, the number 5, he hasn't started the game yet. He will come on a little later. He's another one to look out for.
Action. Taffarella was with the initial strike off to Belcito. 𝐕-𝐻𝐸 followed up, and 𝐕-𝐻𝐸, he is sitting on 9 goals as we look at the replay here, 𝐬𝐵.
But this is the big one for me. It is Boruto with full power, but what a good save from Parinya Pendi.
And Godoy is definitely sporting a new header cut over there on the left flank. Argentina keeping possession, working the systems, using the full width of the court, trying to create that opportunity, but the Thailand defence remained very compact, and they were very, very compact last night against Iran. It was so difficult to break down when you look at the quality of Iran going forward. They were very impressive, Thailand.
Yeah, they did. I mean, you know, there's plenty of talking going on in the court, and that is what is very important, communication, and they defend well in the box formation. And the twins work extremely hard. Godoy there just overrunning the ball and giving away a foul.
For those viewers who are joining us for the first time here at the KL World Fives, you will see those dots along the bottom as we look at the two benches, the two coaches. Those dots there are the foul count. Each team is allowed 5 fouls. The 6th foul will mean that it is an undefended free kick from the 10-metre spot. And as we saw in the game yesterday, Argentina against Australia was very physical. Australia gave away a number of early fouls and almost got themselves into a bit of strife for that, but they were able to ease off. I don't think we'll expect such a physical encounter as we saw last night, 𝐬𝐵.
No, not at all. I mean, these are two very, very technically sound teams. The Thais in football have always been known as the Brazilians of Southeast Asia. And in futsal, nonetheless, they are extremely skillful, and they rely on that. None of the use of brute force. I mean, look at that. That is strike number 3 from Janta, the captain, Pembuatan Janta. And he is really working 𝐿𝐻𝐸 very, very hard.
He just needs half a yard to pull the trigger. He certainly does have a wonderful left foot, does Pembuatan. And Pembuatan again. So close there. 𝐿𝐻𝐸 was coming in at the far post. A very well-worked Corner
Indeed
kick
it
again,
is.
Chevy.
That will go down as a big miss because you do hit it hard across the face of goal. You do expect somebody to arrive. 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 perhaps just beaten by the power on that shot from Pembuatan.
Good early signs here for Thailand. Argentina, as we did speak about, we watched that game intently against Australia, were very composed, kept to their game plan, kept possession. They're all very competent on the ball. Pembuatan once it was again, trying to open up, but 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐿, known for his technical skills, but winning it, and it is end-to-end action at the moment. Some good, solid challenges going in.
Well, it is fast and furious in there, and Gonzalez has come on. He's another one. He is a very intelligent player. He sets up a lot of the play. He's got a very, very useful range of passing as well.
So we see 2 early fouls there for Argentina, although Argentina do seem to have got the free kick. It may be a mistake. We'll update you on that.
Well, there's another danger man out there on now, the number 3 for Argentina, 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐿. Wonderful left foot he's got, and he'll be looking to shoot, just like Pembuatan has done for Thailand.
See Gonzalez lining up the shot, and that is one thing we do know from Argentina. Given half the opportunity, they will have a strike at goal.
They do, I mean, you know, shoot on sight is what these 2 teams do. Well, that was 𝐕-𝐻𝐿 getting forward, as I said, PJ Wood. He's got wonderful left foot. A quick exchange of passes with Boruto.
Argentina already ringing these substitutes. In contrast, Thailand sticking their starting side at the moment.
Well, if anything, I mean, it's a worry for 𝐵𝐻𝐿 is that he hasn't got a very strong second quartet of outfield players, so he has to rely on the ones he has got out there a lot. Of course, he's missing 𝐵𝐻𝐿 and Anucha Munjaran. He is getting on a little bit. He's a little bit heavy. You don't want to risk him in a high-tempo game like this, but he will have to come on at some point.
So Thailand straight down the middle. Great little play there from 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿. Lovely through ball as well from 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿. Thailand is certainly not overawed.
Well, this is a desperate, desperate lunge from Russia. No, Thailand will never show anybody any respect. We've seen them take the game to Brazil. We've seen them beat Iran. And there's no reason to believe that they should change their approach against Argentina.
Pembuatan having another strike. It was very well blocked. Very well blocked again from Argentina. Argentina on the counter-attack, and Pembuatan it is, giving the foul away on 𝐹𝐴𝐵𝐿. And 𝐹𝐴𝐵𝐿, we know he is a dangerous player. He has scored 7 goals. And Pembuatan receiving a yellow card, and fair enough, Chevy.
Yes, indeed. Can't complain about that. 𝐹𝐴𝐵𝐿 had the goal inside, and he made that spurt. Tried to get in between the 2 defenders.
Very well blocked there from 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿. He's a very accomplished defender. 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿, good positioning. And with 5 minutes gone, still a very cagey start. But would you say that Thailand have slightly dominated, Chevy?
I would say certainly for shots at goal. Thailand have had a few more than Argentina. Pembuatan, the captain especially, he's got a lethal left foot. There he is once again.
Good use of the ball there from Thailand. Lots of variation. Always a little bit dangerous playing a 1-2 in the middle of the court. Argentina now on the attack. And we see Thailand in defence, Chevy, with a box formation, but it is quite fluid. They do track the runners very tightly, and they are closing the Argentine players down very quickly when they come into their attacking area.
That is a major feature of their game. they switch between defense and attack very, very quickly. As we see that.
Thailand so quick on the counter-attack. 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 it was, darting down the right flank. Lovely little ball in once again from 𝐵𝐭. May have thought that he might have tried to cross it across the face of goal, but worth a shot nevertheless. 𝐵𝐭 with another lovely strike. Argentina on the attack. Great little play. 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 and 𝐕s-𝐒𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭.
That will go down as a very, very big miss. Great ball in. 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 lays it back, and 𝐕s-𝐒𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 balloons it. As 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 is frustrated at the far post. He had to roll it to the far post for 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭. And it is Anucha Manjuran now, PJ, the number 7. He's out there, and I can tell you, he can belt the ball, just like Panavat.
𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 again.
He's possibly had more shots at goal than anybody else in this tournament.
He certainly
And
has.
And it's just 7 minutes into the game.
And he plays more of a defensive role as 𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭, but he's happy to get those shots in. And there's that gentleman you just mentioned there, 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐵𝐭. He is big and strong, 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐵𝐭. Chevy can hold the ball up front.
He is, PJ, but he will not give you too much tracking back. He's not the most mobile of players anymore. But his experience, again, I think is vital. As Godoy, the captain, gets back on.
You see Argentina recycling the ball. 𝐕s-𝐒𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 moving in from the D, moving back now. 𝐕-𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 it is, straight down the middle. Lovely skill. 𝐕-𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭, absolute quality, but very well blocked there from Panamkorn.
What we are seeing here is the very best in attacking and the very best in defending as well. Look at 𝐕-𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭. And that strike, but a good block from Natapon, who has been very, very exciting for me in this tournament.
Fantastic skill displayed in this game so far. Both teams so competent on the ball, so composed on the ball. Receiving the ball under pressure. 𝐕-𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 it is there. Good, strong challenge. Double team there by the Thai defenders. Excellent defending. 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 opting for the long throw there. That was very close to reaching the head of 𝐕-𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭. It's not a bad tactic to deploy at times, Chevy.
Well, yes, if you are up against opponents who are pressing very early, you go route one, you go over them.
Thailand just working the ball, looking for that opening. Some good, strong challenges going in the middle of the court. Did well to stay on his feet there, 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐵𝐭. Did draw the foul.
He is the one with dynamite in his right shoe. And it might be a foul, but look at him, the power just takes him across. And 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 is thankful that the whistle had gone.
He did well there, 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐵𝐭. He's big, he's strong. Did well to stay on his feet, draw the foul. As we do see Argentina and Thailand with 3 fouls apiece. Excellent defending there, 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭. 2-on-1 situation. Unable to capitalise, and the ball has gone out. You really need to look after the ball there from Thailand. Argentina can kill you on the counter-attack. The right option there, Chevy, should he have passed it into 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭?
Well, he meant to slide it under Parinya. But what a save. I mean, credit to the goalkeeper. I think he's pulled off 2 fantastic saves already.
And he is the reserve goalkeeper as well, Chevy. Not their first choice, but same quality.
Very much so.
Good save. 𝐕-𝐻𝐻𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 with a toe poke snapshot. Good goalkeeping again from Parinya. Thailand straight down the heart of the middle. Good defending again from 𝐕-𝐻𝐻𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭. 𝐕-𝐻𝐻𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 free in the middle. Is that the first goal? Yes, it is. Tremendous play from Argentina. 𝐕s-𝐒𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 into the middle of the box there for 𝐕-𝐻𝐻𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭. Great support. We've spoken about that. Support needed for the target man, and Chevy, that is futsal at its best.
Indeed, it was brilliant. It all started off with 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐭 with the long throw out, And then Basile cuts it back across the face of goal for Boruto, who's not going to miss from there. And it's a goal that Argentina deserve.
It certainly is a tremendous goal. And Argentina just illustrating how sharp they are on the counter-attack. It is something that obviously Thailand need to be aware of. Let's hope that Parinya is okay, because their other goalkeeper, 𝐕-𝐒𝐲𝐫𝐭, does have a broken arm. And there we see Boruto now with 10 goals in this tournament. Such an impressive play, and he started this game on fire.
He certainly has. I mean, showing his full range of skills in tight situations, 2 against 1. He doesn't get worried at all. He's got very, very quick feet and an even quicker brain. And credit to Parinya Pandi, the reserve goalkeeper. I thought he's had a good game so far. Unlucky to be beaten. That came off a counter-attack. Started from 𝐿ias with the throw out. We can expect more of the same. But I can tell you, Thailand will not back out of this game without showing us what they can produce.
The perseverance they displayed last night against Iran was absolutely magnificent. As you mentioned, Chevy, they will continue to fight to the final whistle. Love the little ball in there, Bisile. To Brescia. Once again, Argentina work it into the Thailand D. Good defending there from Panamkorn. Argentina, they are starting to work it round and starting to penetrate into the Thailand D more and more as this half goes on. 9 minutes gone.
Pressure is certainly on now. Look at this. Caviglia. There should have been somebody at the back post. And Brescia, the number 6, will realize that he was the one who should have made that run. But they are beginning to open up this tight defense quite so often, quite so easily now.
Gonzalez it is on the ball on the left flank. Trying to fire it in to 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐻 in the middle of the D. And very well done there from Gonzalez, just to roll it back onto the foot of Sempan. And Thailand trying to break quickly, but look at the defense there. Once again, Argentina all working hard to get back behind the ball. And 𝐕-𝐻𝐻𝐻, it was. He has scored 7 goals, but just like his goal-scoring teammate Boruto, they both work so hard defensively.
They do that, and that's a wonderful feature of their game. They try to win it back as early as possible, and that doesn't allow Thailand time on the ball. It doesn't allow Thailand to build up play.
Oh, cut out there by Brescia, looking after the ball very well. Another player who is strong on the ball. Very well defended there, Argentina, really minimising Thailand's options on the corner kick. Argentina will be content just to continue to look after the ball, recycle until an opportunity arises, and there it did. Gonzalez, so quick, coming in from the left side flank into the centre and fired a shot.
He did. He's all right foot, but he plays on the left-hand side, and when that time comes for him to cut inside, he can produce rockets as well. I mean, they're all very, very accomplished. They might not be the biggest. And PJ, that is very important. You don't need bulk to play this game. The lighter you are on your feet, the better it is. Certainly not a game suited for Paul Macefield.
He's just sitting over here right next to us. I would like to see Mace running around there, though.
I'm sure he'll get his own bag. But this has been very, very interesting. It has been a very exciting game. Not to forget Panuva Janta, the captain.
Great little piece of skill there, and there we go! 𝐂𝐻𝐻𝐿! Absolute quality on the outside of the Argentine D. Great little piece of skill, rifles it into the back of the net. 1-1, and we have a game on our hands, Chevy.
Indeed, it is game on. Very light on his feet, 𝐂𝐻𝐻𝐿. Receives the ball wide, cuts inside, gets that extra yard, and what a strike. No chance for 𝐿ias.
Quality play there, 1-1. Great counter-attack. We see Thailand on the attack again. Just given away there, unfortunately.
we were talking about build, and there you see it, very, very light on his feet, 𝐒𝐻𝐵𝐭. When you're up against slightly bigger opponents, it's a big advantage.
It certainly is. They're so quick, they're so slight, very, very agile. Argentina just looking after the ball again, making those substitutions while they do have possession of the ball. And as we've discussed on a number of occasions, they make 4 substitutions, but the system continues, the pattern of play continues, the cohesiveness of their play continues. They do not miss a beat when they continue to recycle those players.
Indeed not. I mean, you know, they prepare very well, and it's 4 on, 4 out, and it's fair to say that this is their stronger 4, not taking anything away from the others. Boruto, Tafarel, Basile is there as well, and Godoy, the captain.
Thailand looking after the ball, and Argentina doing well to force them back and put pressure, and they do seem to have minimal options. I don't know what it is. He does have a lovely left foot, but very good defending. There it was from Godoy. And Panawat does need to be a little bit careful there. He does have a yellow card. There was a little push in the back there. They certainly wouldn't want to miss him if he got sent off.
Well, there's a big game to play in the final, and you don't want to miss that. But at the same time, you've got to win this one to get there.
Oh! Goodness gracious me. Vasily absolutely rifling that into the back of the net. The Argentine crowd absolutely loving that, and 𝐒𝐵𝐿 Futsal once again.
Futsal of the highest quality. Boruto, when he rolls it back for Basile, there can only be one answer. And that, the ball is only stopped by the net, into the roof of the net, and that is nasty. That is a nasty challenge. It's a yellow card from Panawat.
Absolute devastation here for Thailand. Panawat is such an important player, but he did commit his second yellow card offence. Your thoughts on that, 𝐒𝐵𝐿?
Well, my thoughts on that is that he should be in jail for that challenge. And this is where it gets exciting now, PJ.
It certainly does.
5 against 4.
That's right, 𝐒𝐵𝐿. Thailand need to play with one less field player until a goal is scored, or until 2 minutes has gone. Can Thailand weather the storm? 𝐿𝐴𝐵 has come into play. We saw him absolutely score an absolute cracker against Australia. But Thailand have done well there, looking to catch 𝐿𝐴𝐵 off his line. Good enterprising play, and this is where you really do need to adopt a different approach in defending with only 3 field players.
But really, Panawat's absence is going to be the big miss now for the remainder of the game. It's 2 minutes that the Thais have to defend, and I will not put it.
Absolute quality again. That is textbook on how you play futsal when you have a man up. Using the full box formation in attack, stretching the Thailand defence, working the ball quickly, end result, a goal.
Indeed it is. I mean, when 𝐵𝐿𝐴 plays it down the line for Basile, looks up, hard and low across the face of goal. Godoy has got so much time and space because Parinya has committed himself. Soul on the ball, roll it and rifle it in. And that's the captain's goal. I mean, it's a really inspirational goal. It is his first goal of the tournament.
And he is sporting a new haircut, as you mentioned, 𝐒𝐵𝐿. Haircut's done him a world of good.
Most definitely. Very much lighter on his feet. But really, PJ, I mean, this has been a classic.
We have a look at here the timeout. 𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐴. What will 𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐴 be saying there, 𝐒𝐵𝐿?
Well, he's telling them, all right, you know, take a deep breath. You know, it's not over yet. Yes, we had a bit of a spell. We are up against a good team. Keep your discipline.
And your Nokia Man of the Match competition is going on this evening on ESPN Star Sports. Your two matches are Manchester City against Arsenal on ESPN and Tottenham Hotspur against Manchester United. Two very big BPL games tonight. It's just a football feast at the moment. After the futsal, 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐵 will be heading out to watch the BPL now. And we do see Thailand do have their fourth field player back on play. Lovely little play. Oh, fantastic little play there from 𝐿𝐴𝐵. Just trying to weave his way through. Did very, very well to look after the ball.
Well, this game is not over yet by any means. Good block tackle there from 𝐵-𝐻𝐵. And look at the celebration from 𝐵-𝐻𝐵. They know they are in a game. And they are showing Thailand a lot of respect.
They certainly are, 𝐕-𝐻𝐵. And you can see it. You can see it from their body language. You can see it from their movement. We saw it in their warm-up. They are pumped up for this match. They know they are in for a tough game. They received a massive shock yesterday playing against Australia, who really is a minnow in world futsal terms, but definitely making significant progress. And the Argentine players are up for this match. They saw the game last night against Thailand and Iran. They saw how impressive Thailand were, and as we mentioned, they will persevere and they will battle till the very end.
Well, indeed, I mean, this Thai team has given a good account of themselves. Panamkorn has come on at the back. And Nattapon Sutiro is back as well. And it is interesting now, because when you look at the four outfield players for Argentina, you would say that is the second quartet or the B team.
You're spot on, 𝐕-𝐻𝐵. Only the goalkeeper started the match. But such is the quality in depth of these world powerhouse teams that they can make 4 substitutions, and the quality does not alter. As once again we see 𝐿𝐴𝐵 with some tidy little skills there. But Thailand just finding it a little bit difficult to break down this very stubborn Argentine defence. Argentine players closing Thailand down very, very quickly and forcing a mistake.
They do, I mean, they press very early. The minute they lose the ball, they press very high up the pitch as well, not allowing the Thais to settle. And if there is an advantage that 𝐴𝐵 and 𝐴𝐵, the twins, have, is the fact that 𝐵-𝐻𝐵, every time he's on the pitch, he is big. He's a fantastic player. But that is the kind of player that the lighter 𝐴𝐵 and 𝐴𝐵 enjoy playing against. We saw 𝐴𝐵 sidestep him to score a goal. And that perhaps is the key now, to get them into one-on-one situations with 𝐵-𝐻𝐵.
It is a very good tactic that can be deployed, where you see the 4 field players. You'll see 3 of the field players when attack or shift to one side of the field, which leaves a lot of space on the other side field where you try and isolate one player in a one-on-one situation. It is a very, very effective and good tactic. And tremendous defending once again from Argentina, just forcing Thailand back, giving them no opportunities to move forward. And we see Argentina with a man-on-man situation. Sometimes they drop deep, play more of a zonal, but right now they are pressing. They feel that they've got Thailand on the rails a little bit, and they're forcing them up the field and pressurising them man-on-man, 𝐕-𝐻𝐵.
You need to do that. I mean, otherwise you will allow Thailand to regain possession, allow Thailand to get into a rhythm, and that is what Argentina are not allowing them to do. Playing the pressing game, pressing very high up, and when you play the pressing game, you've got to go man for man, and which is something that is being illustrated here by the Argentinians, not allowing Thailand out of their half.
Argentina renowned for their quality going forward, but also incredibly stubborn in defence. We see a rocket off the crossbar. Taffarel from distance absolutely smashed that against the crossbar, but it was a good save from Parinya.
It is laid back there by Vaporaki. I don't know if Parinya got too much
I
on
don't know either. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
But that really was a cracker.
Mistake there. Thailand defence, and Argentina relentless in their pressurising. Absolutely relentless.
It is a very, very high tempo game, and Thailand, I think the Argentinians would have seen them play against Iran and realize that you cannot afford this Thailand team any time on the ball. And that is why the Argentinians are playing at such a high pace, high pressing game.
They certainly did. They saw that game, Thailand against Iran. And look again, once again, forcing that is a very, very dangerous pass into the middle of the park. And once again, we've got to say it truly is down to the individual pressurising of the Argentines on the Thailand players.
Yes, they have been very successful in suffocating Thailand.
You see Thailand once again with possession coming through the middle. They're being forced. All those options once again closed off. And we do see the power play. Number 7, it is on 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐻. That's a good tactic to see so early on in the game, Chevy.
He will shoot. If he gets half a chance, PJ, he is going to shoot because he's got dynamite in that right foot of his. We saw that 5 years ago in Kuala Lumpur. It will not surprise me if we see another Manjaran special. Although I think not in that position, he needs to be more central.
You do want to get him
and
central.
This is very high risk now. If they lose the ball, Thailand, they could well go another goal down.
It is very, very high risk, as you mentioned, Chevy. You do generally want the goalkeeper to play a more central role. And Argentina defending very well. The fact that Thailand do have an extra field player on. Thailand struggling to find a way through. Getting it into D there. But very well defended once again. That opponent was with a shot. 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐻 trying to release the ball very quickly to catch 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐻 off his line. But it is good to see, Chevy. Thailand, they are 3-1 down, but bringing in the power play situation in the first half.
That's really impressive for me. I think that's very, very good coaching as well from 𝐵-𝐻𝐿. Let's not let this game run away from us. Let's try to get back in there. 1 goal deficit into the second half will be good for Thailand. And I respect the coach there because he is willing to take a risk. It is the semi-final after all, so why not? Top man.
Ruto with a nice little piece of trickery, but very well blocked once again from 𝐴𝐻𝐻. And we do see Perinya back on the field. They do work that substitution well, the Thais, when they do play the power play, they change it very quickly when they are defending to get the recognised goalkeeper back into goal. Argentina 𝐵-𝐻𝐻 making a surging run into the D. Vasily, it is on the ball, just looking after the ball. 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐻, who has now stepped up into play, playing as a sweeper. And they'll be quite content with under 1:30 remaining on the clock to keep possession, not force the play. And that's a lovely little ball. That is a gorgeous goal. Absolute quality again from the Argentines. Tafarel with a scoop into 𝐵-𝐻𝐻. 𝐵-𝐻𝐻 with a lovely touch. Chevy, this is how you play futsal.
Indeed it is. Look at that. Over the top. 𝐵-𝐻𝐻 over the top again. Plays it ever so nicely for 𝐵-𝐻𝐻. This is futsal.
𝐵-𝐻𝐻 got his first goal of the tournament in the 13th minute. Got his second goal of the tournament in the 19th minute. He should get his hair cut more often.
Well, he certainly has looked a completely different player. And now we know why he wears the captain's armband. He is a leader in every sense of the word.
He is a leader, he is strong. Works hard to get into the box there. And Thailand going into the break. 4-1 down. But Chevy with less than 45 seconds remaining. We do see Thailand coming up through the middle. And Tafarel taking no chances.
Well, there's absolutely no reason for that. In the first half, which has seen Argentina suffocate the Thais, not allowing them time and space, not allowing them out of their half.
And we just see here, Chevy, Thailand with an overhead pass, and you look at how quickly 𝐻𝐻𝐻 charged down there on 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐻 to close him down and force the ball out.
Well, this is the goalkeeper with dynamite in his boots as well. He's already scored once in this tournament.
Oh! 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐻! with an absolute pile driver from distance. Goodness gracious, have a look at how quick this went.
Well, that's a topo. And what a save from Parinya.
That would knock your head off if it hits you in the head.
Well, I'm not getting out there on the court with him, definitely.
Oh, lovely little play from 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿. That far post runner was missing, though.
And it is really interesting, PJ. We did mention it at that time when Panuat Janta, the captain, got sent off. He was going to be a big loss. His leadership qualities, his wonderful left foot, they've missed him a lot.
They certainly have, and with the clock about to run down, Thailand really haven't done too much wrong in this first half. It's just been the absolute overall quality of Argentina's performance. And as we see there, Baruto heading off. He scored the first goal. Argentina going into the break with a 4-1 lead.
Welcome back to the KL World Fights live and exclusive here on Star Sports. but also more football action for you on this very channel. It's Star Soccer Saturday. The Premiership continues with Portsmouth. They take on Chelsea. That's live tonight at 11 p.m. on the Hong Kong time zone. And we're back here in Stadium Negara, and it's absolutely fantastic. What a great first half in the first cup semi-final. Thailand won, Argentina 4. Your thoughts on that, Shabby?
I mean, this has just been absolutely brilliant 20 minutes of futsal. The Argentinians racing their game, showing us why they're one of the best in the world. They are the defending champions of this tournament, and they've gone out there and they've really suffocated Thailand, a Thai team, who have been very, very impressive. I mean, this has been absolutely top quality, and I hope that just continues into the second half.
As we look at the first half analysis and highlights from that, we know that Thailand had 2 suspensions and a goalkeeper out as well. They started off actually the better side, didn't they, Shabby?
They did. I mean, Pembuatan, Janta, the captain, who will get sent off later on, he was the leading light, really. Half chances from the Argentinians, a good save from Parinya, from Boruto. I mean, it has been end of it, and that was the captain, Pembuatan, Janta. Look at that for a strike. That really hurt 𝐂𝐵𝐻𝐻's legs. And then they go close again. I mean, he's such a key player for them, and his sending off has been a very, very big loss.
And Thailand was always very dangerous in the breaks, but we could see from their tactics as well that Pembuatan was going to try from distance.
Yes, indeed. So that was danger for the Argentinians. Here we see it is Munjaran, but the referee had blown for a foul earlier. I mean, they were simply peppering the Argentinian goal with shots.
And then once the Argentinians got going, that number 9, but what a good move.
It was a very early throw out from 𝐂𝐵𝐻𝐻, cutting it across, and Boruto not going to miss from that distance. That was absolute quality. And this for me again was it. It was easy for 𝐂𝐻𝐵𝐿 to cut inside 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐵𝐿, who is very big. Gains that extra half a yard, no chance for 𝐂𝐵𝐻𝐻 at his near post.
And this was absolutely what Thailand deserves. The scores at the moment was 1-1. The game was evenly poised, but it needed a bit of magic, and it did come for the Argentinians, didn't it?
It did. I mean, it's just amazing when Boruto cuts it back for 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐵𝐿 into the roof of the net. They raise the tempo whenever they need to, and the Argentinians have suffocated Thailand in the first half. I mean, they played a very high pressing game, and 𝐵𝐻𝐻𝐻 getting on the end of that ball, finishing ever so calmly as well. So it is fair to say, Jen, that maybe after the first 5 minutes, it was just the Argentinians. Again, quality here. Boruto is so aware of where the goalkeeper is, hooks it over the goalkeeper, and 𝐵𝐻𝐻𝐻 puts in the finishing touch. Absolutely brilliant.
And also before 𝐵𝐻𝐻𝐻's first goal for the tournament and third goal for Argentina, Pembuatan got sent off the captain. Now, how big a blow is that going to be for Thailand?
Very big loss. We have seen that after his sending off, the Thai team struggled to get out of the half. They lack a leader. They lack somebody who is intelligent enough to slow down the game or to speed it up when necessary. And I think also missing the goalkeeper, the first choice goalkeeper, because his distribution was very much better than Parinya. So 2 big losses for them now.
Yeah. And Thailand with all to do, and we've got Paul Mears for the pitch side. He's with the Thai manager and Thai coach.
I'm here with the Thailand coach, Patia. Patia, are you happy and pleased with that first half performance?
ถามว่ารู้สึกยังไงกับการแข่งขันครั้งแรกเราพอใจป่ะก็รู้สึกก็พอใจนะครับพอใจในนักกีฬาที่มีอยู่วันนี้ทำผลงานทุกวันทำผลงานได้ดีนะครับ He said he's quite happy with the performance, but we don't have many players to play today.
You have got that problem, but do you think that was a red card, and how has that affected that first half for you?
ก็ถามว่าใบแดงมีผลมากแค่ไหนมีผลอย่างมากเลยครับตั้งแต่ใบแดงเมื่อวานแล้วนะครับแล้วก็2เหลืองด้วยแล้วประตูก็นิ้วหักด้วยแล้วมาวันนี้มีผลอีกแล้วตัวผู้เล่นก็จะเหลืออยู่ประมาณ 6-7 คนซึ่งมีผลอย่างมากทำให้สภาพทีมเวิร์กเนี่ยเสียความสมดุลไปอย่างมากครับผม
Because from before today game we have only 9 players and the red card today again it's make the balance of the team is not there yet.
Will we see Thailand coming out trying to score more goals in the second half? Will it be a different tactic, or will you just drop off?
เขาคิดว่าเราจะทำประตูได้เปล่าแล้วก็จะเป็นแทคติกที่แตกต่างไปจากครึ่งแรกหรือเปล่า
ครับก็มันก็ขึ้นอยู่กับรูปเกมนะฮะแต่ว่าแท็กติกคงจะต้องแตกต่างไปจากครึ่งแรกแน่นอนแต่เรื่องของสกอร์ก็เป็นเรื่องของจังหวะของฟุตบอลของฟุตซอลครับ
Definitely will be another tactic, different tactics, but score goals or not it depends on the station of the game.
Thank you very much for your time. Good luck in the second half.
Team manager Jasa and coach 𝐒𝐴𝐳𝐵𝐿. Interesting point that they brought up is that even though they're down, they're going to go for it, and that was evident in the first half where they were down 3-1, but they decided to go with the power play.
They have to, Jane. I mean, before the semi-final runs away from them, they've got to try to get back. They are suffering from a loss of some key players, and they've lost their captain as well now. So I respect that attitude. They know they might get hammered if they open up, but they are saying no. We are going to go forward still.
And Thailand really up against it. Hopefully they have a better second half. But Paul Mansfield is pitched out with one of the coaching staff from Argentina.
So a very good first half for the Argentinian side.
Yes, we know that the Thailand team is a very fast team and very ability players. Then as we know, they have 3 players outside the pitch and now 4. We pressure them to try he don't make his play, and then we make the difference.
Did you expect Thailand to be so strong and to be in the face of your side all the way through that first half?
Thailand is so strong, but with 3 players out, it's very difficult for them.
Baruto is the man that everybody is talking about in Kuala Lumpur. Really, how good is he?
It is his first tournament, and the last year is his first year in futsal. We have all to see about him.
It's fantastic news. What can we expect from Argentina in the second half? More of the same?
Yes. I think we are doing the same as in the first half.
Thank you very much for your time. Good luck in the second half. Thank you.
And that sets us up very nicely. Take a break here live on Star Sports. When we come back, it's the second half between Argentina and Thailand.
welcome back to Stadium Negara in Kuala Lumpur for this first Cup semi-final. Argentina against Thailand. Argentina going into the break with a 4-1 lead, and there's a cute little Argentine fan. He'd be ecstatic with the way that Argentina played this first half. Goals to Baruto, Vasile, and 2 to Godoy. 1 goal to 𝐒𝐻𝐵𝐿 for Thailand. And joining me in the commentary booth is 𝐿𝐵𝐻𝐵𝐿 Singh. And 𝐿𝐵𝐵𝐿, the first half was an absolute joy for the viewer. It was futsal truly at its best, and we can't actually say that Thailand have played poorly. It's just been that Argentina have looked after the ball very well and have pressed and put Thailand under pressure every single minute of that first half.
That's right. The pressing tactics of the Argentinians have not allowed Thailand to try to get into a rhythm, and also losing their captain Panuat Janta has what I think has affected them to a large extent, because he is very calm, very comfortable on the ball. And Larrañaga here, well, he doesn't even smile, but he will be very, very happy with his team's first half performance.
He certainly would. He would be ecstatic. And like you did mention, Panuat, who is the Thai captain, received his second yellow card in the 12th minute, and they certainly missed him as we have this second half kicks off. It is the first Cup semi-final, the second Cup semi-final following this, Brazil against Australia. And as we did hear from 𝐵𝐻𝐵𝐿 at half-time, Thailand will adopt a different strategy. We look forward to seeing what it is, 𝐿𝐵𝐵𝐿, but they will go after this game.
They will certainly try to take the game to the Argentinians. They are going to go out there and attack Argentina, try to push Argentina back. And it is a refreshing attitude from a coach who's got a very, very exciting young team as well. And here's something, PJ, that Paul Macefield just passed on to me. This is Cristian Boruto's first international tournament. And even the Argentinians are being surprised by what he is capable of, or what he's been producing out on the pitch.
He truly is a tremendous talent. First international tournament, absolutely relishing it. 10 goals to his name. An absolute joy to watch. And we see Argentina putting Thailand under pressure. Once again, it is a very high pressing, high intensity defensive approach from Argentina. It worked very, very well in the first half.
Well, Thailand did come into this game on the back of 2 suspensions, one to 𝐻𝐻𝐵𝐿, 𝐿𝐵𝐻𝐵𝐿, and one. I think the bigger loss has been the number 5, the defender Isara Suvipakorn, and Surapong Tompa, the first choice goalkeeper, breaking a wrist as well.
And 𝐿𝐵𝐵𝐿 added to the fact that Panuat, their captain, has been sent off as well. And Thailand definitely short of numbers, but they continue to have a go there. And that was 𝐻𝐻𝐵𝐿 with the shot, just toe poking it, but getting underneath the ball and chipping it into the crowd. Little kid up the back there has got a souvenir. He's run out the back door. But Argentina, a very professional performance in the first half, really looking after the ball very well. Very rarely did they relinquish possession too easily. As we look at the 2 coaches, 𝐵𝐻𝐵𝐿 and Larrañaga.
Well, these are difficult times for 𝐵𝐻𝐵𝐿 because he's only got 3 subs, and there's not much he can do. This will mean that Anucha Manjaran is going to get a lot of play time. There he is, trying to hold it up.
It's a good central target man for this Thai team now. He's going to have to really hold up that ball. The more often that Thai players give the ball away, just allows Argentina an opportunity. And that's a tremendous goal line block from his teammate Resia. I don't think he meant to do that, 𝐿𝐵𝐵𝐿.
No, not at all. I mean, look at that. A lot of power behind that. And Resia trying to get out of the way, couldn't. It's a wonderful, wonderful Argentinian performance here against a battling Thai team.
Argentina absolutely relentless in their defence. And that's a beautiful through ball there from 𝐻𝐻𝐵𝐿.
Well, it was Sermpan who really should have controlled the ball first. Didn't realize he had a lot of time. But that's what you get when you have basically a defensive player getting into forward positions.
As you mentioned, Thailand very short of numbers now, 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐲. But they will continue to play, they will continue to fight. It does look as though they are sitting back in defence, remaining compact, trying to get at Argentina on the counter-attack, and that will suit Argentina. They're very good at keeping possession, recycling the play, plenty of movement. Lovely attempt at a little turn there from 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐲. And that is a cracking strike from 𝐿𝐿𝐻𝐻. And a good save from 𝐿𝐿𝐻𝐻.
Very, very good save. And that is what Anucha Manjaran can do. As I said in the first half, he's got dynamite in his boots. And that certainly is something that 𝐿𝐿𝐻𝐻 will agree with.
𝐿𝐿𝐻𝐻, he is a big, strong target man. I would like to see 𝐿𝐿𝐻𝐻 play in a little bit more of an advanced role. Force one of the Argentinians to get back and defend on him. He can play with his back towards goal. He's very competent at doing that. He's big and strong. That is him on the ball now.
Well, he is a veteran of 5 years ago.
𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻 had his shot blocked relatively easily. And we've been impressed with Argentina going forward. Baruto, many accolades, as has 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐻. We've really seen Godoy step up his performance as captain. But it is their defence that has truly established this lead so far.
It is where they defend and how high up the pitch they defend that has made it very, very difficult for Thailand.
I've been so impressed with how relentless their defence has been. They look after the ball. They're able to switch from a very high pressure, high intensity defence where they're getting very, very tight one-on-one. But then when they get the ball, they automatically switch into a very composed, very cohesive unit looking after the ball, 𝐕-𝐻𝐻.
Well, it is the diamond formation they apply with Baruto up front. That's he on the right wing this time, and he's not afraid to take players on. Very, very confident character, great skills.
And his first international futsal tournament. What a delight he is to watch. Absolutely electric. Just like a little child in the school ground playing football. Plays with such enthusiasm. Always been impressed with how hard he works defensively as well, trying to get the ball back. And this is him breaking quickly. Seemed like a very nice tackle from 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻, but you cannot slide in futsal. If that was outdoor football, it would have been a cracker of a challenge.
But I'm glad they have these rules, PJ. Because I think we'll see a lot of these in the second semi-final as well.
I've had the opportunity to speak to a few of the Australians, and yes, 𝐕-𝐻𝐻𝐻, they will be very, very tight on the Brazilians. As you see here, very good defending there from 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻.
Well, sticking to his man, not allowing Basile any time and space, using his shoulders so well.
Thailand once again making a substitution. On comes Natapon. 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻 on the ball there. 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻 playing in a more central role, looking for the ball. They do make nice little checking runs, trying to elude the defender that is marking them, but Argentina once again so very compact. Thailand struggling to find any penetration into the Argentine D. And 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻 it is with a lovely strike.
Well, we told you that he can shoot, and that is what the Thais will be doing, trying to create that space for him. And 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻 had to get down very well.
𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻 again, that is a difficult ball to strike, coming at him at pace. But Argentina on the attack, and that is awesome distribution from the goalkeeper 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻 into Basile. And the goalkeepers so often in this tournament, 𝐕-𝐻𝐻𝐻, are the first focal point of attack.
And he perfectly illustrates that. I mean, they created one goal already. And that for me...
Taffarel it was, absolutely pouncing on the ricochet. But Thailand have broken end-to-end action. Natapon opting to take the ball back inside. I would have liked to have seen him maybe take it first time or maybe pull it outside.
Well, PJ, he had to make that space for himself. And when you turn, I mean, you catch everybody going one way, and that is what gave him the advantage. But good save from Elias.
Very good save from Elias. Everything the Thailands are dishing out going forward, the Argentines have been able to handle, except for that one strike from 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐿 early on.
Well, look at the Argentinians. They man mark, and they stick very, very tight.
They do a very good job in switching from a zonal formation to a man-on-man situation when the need arises. Incredibly well drilled. We know that 𝐂𝐳𝐽𝐻𝐵 would have worked incredibly hard on the training court with them. And good movement there from Natapon. Nice little run down the line. It is a difficult shot to get any power and get some accuracy from, but it's good to see that Thailand are changing it up and trying to move and rotate to try and shift this Argentine defence that is incredibly compact so far.
This is where it is very important that in one-on-one situations you have someone who can take a player on, because that will mean space will open up.
And a big, strong challenge there from Natapon on 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐿 it was. 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐿, he is a tall, strong player, very, very skillful also. And Thailand with plenty of possession in this second half, in the Argentine defensive half. Just struggling to get any into the D, but good little play there. 𝐕-𝐻𝐿 off Anusha, but once again, very well defended.
Well defended indeed. It is the Argentinians now just changing their tactics a bit, defending deeper, inviting Thailand to come forward. Whereas in the first half, they were pressing Thailand early in the Thai half.
And they've made that transition with ease, and it's Thailand with plenty of possession now on the outside of the D, but good defending, nowhere to go. And Panamkorn is forced backwards. He still has the ball though. That is lovely little play there. Panamkorn and 𝐕-𝐻𝐿. Would have liked to have seen 𝐕-𝐻𝐿 maybe take a touch and strike it, but he was under pressure. Very difficult. Argentina really switching from that high pressing game, which is very, very hard work, and that's the key, 𝐻𝐵. Physically, it is very tiring. Then they come back and drop in.
And you see how deep they are defending. Basically, inside their own 10-yard, which means the Thais have got a long way to carry the ball. And when they come into this area, it gets very tight for them.
And you look at how well Argentina are closing that middle area. When the ball goes out to one flank, all four field players shuffle over and close out the ball into Anusha. And Anusha, that is the first time they got the ball into his feet on the D. Absolute quality. Once again, we spoke about how good he is at holding up the ball, but how good was that turn, 𝐻𝐵?
That was absolutely brilliant. Natapon flicks it onto him. Look at that, two-touch control, turn and bottom corner. And it just leaves Elias admiring the shot. That for me is top quality.
Anusha, that is one of his strengths. He took it very, very well. 4-2. Oh, absolute heartbreak for Thailand, but you do need to applaud Argentina. 𝐵-𝐻𝐿, it was, who ventured into the outside of the D. A nice little deflection. The Argentine crowd loving that.
Well, PJ, I have to disagree with you. It wasn't a nice little deflection. It was a cruel, wicked deflection.
It certainly was. From the Thai perspective, it was cruel and wicked. From an Argentine perspective, it was lovely and delicate. But absolute heartbreak, and that is the game of futsal. Goals at one end, goals at the other end. And it can be cruel, the deflections. We do see many ricochets. We have seen a number of own goals, but it is full credit to the attacking team to get the ball into the D area, force the play and force the deflection.
Very important indeed, PJ. I mean, you know, you've got Every time you get within a side of the D area, you should try your luck. And look at that. That could very well have gone into the back of the net off a deflection as well.
Certainly could. And we see 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐿 it was receiving a yellow card for a supposed hand ball.
Well, it was driven in by his twin 𝐕-𝐻𝐿, and 𝐕-𝐻𝐿, yes, did get a hand to it.
Argentina looking after the ball. Very well closed down is 𝐕-𝐻𝐿, and that is great defending from both 𝐕-𝐻𝐿 and Natapon. Double teaming 𝐕-𝐻𝐿. He is a danger player.
Well, 𝐕-𝐻𝐿 can be forgiven for seeing double because it was the twins double teaming him. Well, he's got a whistle in his hand and a stopwatch.
𝐿arinyaga, he does keep a careful eye on that. I think it's to monitor the substitutions, but this poker face he has, I would never like to play poker against 𝐿arinyaga.
Well, getting a bit physical out there with the thighs.
Oh, wonderful skill there from Resia to take the ball at pace down the right flank and then to rifle it in on goal and to hit the target.
It is, I mean, uses his body, rolls the ball, and then when he takes that strike, you think, uh-oh, it's going to be another one. But this is where I think, Paige, in the last 10 minutes, I do expect Thailand to drop the pace a little bit because I think there'll be a lot of tired legs. We all know they're a severely depleted team, and the sending off of the captain did not help.
No, that was disastrous for the Thai chances in this game. It certainly is being played at a furious pace. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Both teams had very, very tough games yesterday. Argentina with a 3-3 draw against Australia that was incredibly physical and highly intense. And Thailand running out winners over their arch enemies, I guess you could say, in Asian futsal, Iran, with a tremendous 3-2 win. That was also played at an incredibly intense pace. But Argentina do have the benefit in this game of being able to rotate all 4 field players with their 2 systems, their 2 teams within the 1 team.
Well, they have got a full squad and everybody's available. Having said that, we have not seen 𝐷𝐿, the number 7. He has not had any play time yet. 𝐕-𝐒𝐿 hasn't had too much. So it's quite basically that they stick to their 2 best quartets.
Oh, wonderful save from Elias. Good shot initially from Anusha. It was fired up by 𝐕-𝐻𝐿. But Elias once again stood tall and strong, stayed on his feet here, Chevy.
I mean, credit to the Thais. They are not giving up. Munjaran with the first one. And then Elias stands up to 𝐕-𝐿 and blocks it. And once again, as a goalkeeper, you don't really have to hold on to anything so long as you can get blocks in there, EJ.
It is a skill very unique to futsal, Chevy, as you've mentioned. The goalkeepers coming out, they crouch down, they put their arms out, puffing their chest out, making themselves as big as they can, as we just see the mass substitution now from Argentina.
Well, that's interesting. It is Taffarel, Godoy, 𝐵𝐿𝐶𝐻. Now will we see a difference in attitude? Perhaps they're slightly more defensive, 𝐵𝐿𝐶𝐻 and Godoy. Taffarel will come in from deep, and it is Basile more like more comfortable on the flanks, so they don't really have a target man because Vaporaki and Boruto are the 2 who always lead the line.
It certainly is a different combination of players that Argentina have out on the court right now. And Thailand still once again defending very, very well. Difficult to break down. Thailand recycling the ball, recycling their runs, continuing to look for a way through this very, very stubborn Argentine defence. 8 minutes remaining in this second half.
Well, we can see it is a slightly more defensive Argentinian lineup. content now to slow the game down, keep possession.
They will be very content just to keep possession, be patient. They are winning this game 5-2. Lovely little turn from Basile. Great little turn, Chevy.
But that's where the problem is, PJ. There was no target man there. Nobody coming in at the far post. So obviously, the coach Laranyaga has seen that Thailand were beginning to build up some steam, and he's decided to send in a more defensive lineup to knock them off their rhythm.
And we do see Laranyaga standing up now. He is starting to bark a few more instructions. In these early matches, he pretty much stayed in his seat for the majority of the game.
Well, this is it then. The Argentinians were just very happy now. Keep ball in their own half.
It will be interesting, Chevy, if we do start to see Thailand play a more pressing game.
Well, they are forcing Thailand to come out. Although the Thais are refusing to fall into that trap.
As we see a timeout called for Thailand, Laranyaga, it is there, happy to give his players a break as well. 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐿 opting for that timeout. We will see a change of tactic now, Chevy, most likely.
Well, he hasn't got too many options, but he's going to keep reminding the players that you've got to get forward now. Try to press, try to push the Argentinians back. There's no point defending deep. There's no point allowing the Argentinians to have the ball because they will run down the time.
No podemos jugar futsal. Concéntrese en la marca.
Laranyaga, it is there. I know, Chevy, you've been working on your Spanish. But NFC manager, get involved. Barclays Premier League, plenty of cash prizes. The grand prize winner, will jet off to Europe. Major football match, US $3,000 to spend. ESPN star.fantasyleague.com. Get involved. It is a great competition, and that is a great goalkeeper, 𝐿𝐼𝐻. And we speak about the importance of these goalkeepers, obviously shot stopping, which makes sense. That's their role in goals. But Chevy, they truly are the first focal point of attack going forward as well on many occasions.
Indeed, distribution, both with their feet and with their hands, is a key part of this game. And we've seen 𝐿𝐼𝐻 do that.
And Chevy, we do see a change of tactic once again here from the Argentines in defence. They are pressing once again, putting Thailand under pressure.
Well,
as we see the referee on the far side of the court. So there's a sniper in the grandstand.
Well, you can see the more attacking-minded players are out there now for Argentina. Russia, Gonzalez, Vaporaki. So they are going to press forward now.
Such variation in the Argentine play. They can press, they can put Thailand under pressure, they then drop back and remain compact. Then when they do have the ball, different combinations of players put the Thailand team under different types of pressures, and that's that variation which does make it for the opposing team so difficult to deal with.
It is very difficult indeed, PJ. I mean, you can't be changing your own formation for that, can you? So it really leaves you in two minds. Causes a lot of confusion in the opponent's ranks. They've got Vaporaki now, the target man.
Good play there. Vaporaki, it is on the ball. Argentina just working the ball around, recycling the runs, not really playing with an out-and-out target man. Vaporaki does come into a central area inside the D, but is peeling off again wide where he has picked up the ball. That's upon it was with the challenge, giving away a foul there.
Just getting impatient, Natapon, not very happy that the Thais have not touched the ball for a while now. But Vaporaki, he is a predator, so to speak. Half an opportunity, and he'll try to smash the ball home.
He certainly is, Chevy. He scored 7 goals so far in this tournament. And Gonzalez, it is, who's venturing on the left-hand side. And Resia with a strike from distance.
Well, if you can't go through them, try shots from a distance. They've already got a goal from a wicked deflection.
I thought you were going to say try and go through them with a shot. Good defending there from 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐵 who came flying over. He was almost a little bit too aggressive there for the referee, but I'll tell you what, for me, I think that is a fantastic tackle. I think the referee got it wrong. What do you think, Chevy?
Well, it was a fantastic tackle, but unfortunately this is not football. So in futsal, that is a foul.
So we have a look at it again
That
here, Chevy.
I think it's more the aggressive approach rather than the challenge itself. And the referees always look at that as being overly aggressive. He did lunge in a little bit for the ball, got his toe to the ball.
Maybe a little unfortunate. Good, solid defending from Argentina. Thailand really struggling to break down as there's now less than 5 minutes remaining in this second half. Thailand are trailing Argentina 5 goals to 2 in what is this first Cup semi-final of the KL World Fives. And Argentina have really picked up the intensity in this game compared to any of their previous group games.
Well, it took a while to settle into the competition. They had a very, very big win against England. And then they did not really play too well against Malaysia. But when needed to, they did raise their game against Australia. But today, the change in tactics, the change in styles of play against a very, very good team. They are comfortable now at 5-2.
Thailand truly are an excellent team. Ranked 16th in the world. Argentina are ranked 7th. Thailand really growing in stature in relation to world futsal standards. All these players are purely futsal players. They do not play outdoor football. And a different tactic there, trying to get the ball to 𝐕-𝐻𝐵. It is difficult knocking that ball straight down the middle. Easier for 𝐿ius to pick it up. It's much easier to knock it diagonally in towards the corner areas. 𝐕-𝐻𝐵 it is with the ball. And once again, Argentina looking to press a little higher up on the halfway line. 𝐕-𝐻𝐵 continuing to work and playing very well. Intercepted there from Gonzalez, playing it out wide, and that is a rocket.
Well,
𝐕-𝐻𝐵.
He was too selfish on that occasion. It was 𝐕-𝐻𝐵 screaming for the ball at the far post. But no, 𝐕-𝐻𝐵 very, very single-minded.
He wants another goal, 𝐕-𝐻𝐵. He's trying to stay in touch with his teammate 𝐵aruto, who now has 10 goals for the tournament. Good, strong play there it was from Natapan, but tremendous defending from 𝐕-𝐻𝐵. And Argentina ring the substitutions again. Here comes 𝐂𝐻𝐳 back on, captain courageous. He truly has led by example during this game, and we do see 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐵 playing a lot more in this second half. Good defending from Thailand, forcing 𝐿ius to knock the ball down the court.
They did well. They took advantage of the fact that Argentina were making the changes. They pressed on, and 𝐿ius really left with no choice.
Thailand continuing to work the ball around. 𝐕-𝐻𝐵 trying to keep the ball into play. An interesting 𝐻𝐵 in this second half. We have not seen 𝐵aruto.
Well, I think it's tactical. I mean, the game is quite safe now. They've brought on their slightly more defensive players. They want to protect 𝐵aruto.
Oh! 𝐕-𝐻𝐵 with a gorgeous strike along the ground. Absolutely came out of nowhere. What a strike. And Thailand are back in it at 5-3, 𝐻𝐵.
Well, all I can say is, I told you so. And that is the dynamite in the right foot we were talking about. When it's laid back for him, still a lot of work to do, being closed down very quickly. But Munjaran makes no mistake, giving 𝐿ius no chance at all.
Just under 90 seconds remaining in this first Cup semi-final. Argentina leading Thailand 5 goals to 3. And Basile, it is on the break, and good goalkeeping from Parinya. But now it is Thailand on the break. Anusha with a toe poke, unable to hit the target.
Well, it is all happening out there. They had a great chance, Argentina, but this is Bonjaran. Maybe he should not have tried to toe poke it because he strikes the ball rather cleanly otherwise. But that chance go a bagging. And it was really the fact that Basile once again was overly selfish in a one-on-one. In a 2-against-1, he should have passed the ball for a teammate to score.
You see Thailand once again on the attack. They are truly going after this game now. They are 5-3 down. And that's a part of this, trying to get his strike off, miscuing it.
Well,
and we see a timeout now.
No surprise really. 46 seconds left, 2 goals to pull it back or to take it into extra time.
𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐿 would be giving his players plenty of advice, and it was Argentina who called this timeout. And it's very good at play from 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐴 there. Thailand really starting to come back, really starting to chase the game, and 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐴 just doing that to settle the game.
He has. I mean, you know, let's throw a spanner in the works there. Let's slow the rhythm down. And 𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐴, this is the time for 𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐴 to come in because they have defended too deep. Now let's take the game to Thais for the last 46 seconds. And that's the last thing 𝐕-𝐻𝐿 would have wanted to see. But Elias will know he has been in a game.
It certainly has been a fantastic game, this first cup semi-final of the KL World Fives. And very good defending there from 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐴 to win the ball back.
In fact, there's 2 very attacking players there, Vaporaki and 𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐴, both on the pitch.
Interesting to bring those players on, very composed and confident on the ball, easy to keep possession. And Kabilia opting for safety first with 25 seconds remaining. Thailand really needing to work the ball further up the court, trying to find a way through.
Oh, it has been a wonderful game of futsal. 2 teams, I mean, credit to Thailand. Not really giants in Asian futsal, but they have shown that they have to be taken seriously.
Seconds left. Thailand continuing to try and work their way into the Argentine D to get a goal back. They are still 2 goals down. Working very hard to get back in this game.
Indeed, Argentina hanging on, and we haven't said that too often in this tournament, have we? Credit to Thailand.
The clock continues to run down. Anusha, they get the ball into. Elias it is who has the ball. It is a fast break to 𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐴. And great goalkeeping from Parinya to block it with his face as the clock goes down. And 𝐂𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐴, what a game. 5-3 to Argentina, but a very competent performance from Thailand.
Top-class performance, top-class futsal here. And I can tell you that the Thais can go out of this competition with their heads held very high, and the future certainly looks very bright.
It certainly does. So the first cup semi-final, Argentina 5, Thailand 3. Full-time analysis with Jin and 𝐂𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐻 after the break.
More live football action for you on ESPN. The Barclays Premier League, a big one, Tottenham Hotspur versus league leaders Manchester United. That's live tonight at 11 p.m. I'm sure all you football fans will be eagerly awaiting that. But the big news here, Shebby, what a fantastic first cup semi-final.
It was. I mean, it's just breathtaking futsal, top of the highest quality in terms of player individual performances, in terms of team tactics. You know, I thought, you know, it is just one of the best games I've seen in this competition. And credit to Thailand. We know what Argentina are capable of, but credit to Thailand, you know, who came into this game not showing the Argentinians any respect. They did go a goal down here, a beautiful cutback from Basile, Boruto putting the finishing touch to that, but it was end-to-end action.
It is, and then the Thais hit back with 𝐴𝐵𝐿 once again scoring a crucial goal. I mean, they have everything to be proud of today,
Indeed,
Thailand.
I mean, 𝐴𝐵𝐿, look at that. I mean, he's very clever. He changes direction. Because of him changing direction, you know, he gains that extra yard on the defender who is slower on the turn and scores a well-deserved equalizer.
And at this stage, we're still quite even at the moment, but then the Argentines just push ahead a bit more.
Indeed, I mean, you know, when needed to, the Argentinians could step up a gear or two, and they did on these two goals. They just stepped it up, which means that, you know, they found spaces and you know, and which is something that the Thais couldn't do, couldn't spot where the runners are, and Godoy getting his first goal of the competition on that.
And this was, oh yeah, this was a fantastic touch, man.
Yeah, once again, I mean, the awareness that Boruto shows, and Godoy in a very advanced position makes it 2 goals for himself.
And what the highlights don't show you was in the first half when Argentina was leading 2-1, the Thai captain Panuat was sent off, and that created so much more problems in the Thai team.
It did. I mean, in the first half, they really missed their captain. In the second half, they changed their tactics a bit. They brought Munjaran up front, and he was troubling 𝐿ias every opportunity. I saw him 5 years ago, and 5 years on, he might be slightly heavier, but he's not lost that dynamite in the right boot of his, right shoe of his.
And during the first half, we spoke to the Thai coach, Biaya. He said that even though they're down, they're still going to go for it and try, and they certainly did.
I mean, look at that. I mean, that's wonderful skills for such a big man. 1-touch control, 2-touch, takes the ball away, changes direction at the same time, and then plants it into the bottom corner.
But then, unfortunately, like in the first half, after Thailand scored, the Argentinians replied immediately. There was a cruel deflection.
It is indeed, you know, the timing of the goals, because as we all know, teams are vulnerable, or rather they're most vulnerable just after they have scored. And this is a perfect example. Thailand score, the next minute, they concede.
But credit to the Thais, as you can see from the highlights, they came back strongly. They never let the heads drop, and at the end, very well deserved, they got another goal to the big guy, Anucha.
Indeed, Anucha Munjaran once again, you know, that is his favorite. The ball cut back to him. Nobody is going to phase him in any way, and he deserves that goal.
And at the end of the match, it was quite open, but it was a flurry of chances and pressure from the Thais in the last 2-3 minutes, wasn't there?
Indeed, I mean, this came off a very good save from the goalkeeper. Once the ball broke out to Munjaran, you thought, uh-oh, you know, but he, I think, opted for the wrong option. He's not very good at toe poking the ball. He strikes it well as you would strike a football, so that was a chance wasted.
So at the end of the day, the final score is 5 to Argentina and 3 to Thailand. But at the end of the day, the Thais have everything to be proud of. And Paul Mitchell is pitch side with the Thai manager, 𝐂𝐨𝐵𝐿.
I am with the Thai national team manager, and that was a fantastic performance from your team.
Yeah, except today that we have a lot of problem of the player, because today, before the game, we missed 3 players, and today another one. So I think Argentina played a good tactic, because they keep on pressing us. They know that we have only 6-7 players. But anyway, for the player, I'm very happy, I'm very satisfied with the way we play. Every player have a big heart every game, and they play well every game.
The expectations for your side was the plate competition. You find yourself now in the big league. Is that a step up for Thai futsal?
If we see the history that when we play first Tiger 5, we are in the last one, the bowl. And after that, in 2003 𝐾𝐿5, we become the runner-up for the plate. Yeah, and this is, I think, we have a very good development for Thai futsal.
So what has accelerated that development in Thailand?
Right now in Thailand, we have it's many factors. If I talk about the national team, we have a good knowledge from Brazil, Argentina, and also Spain, because we hire all those coaches to train Thailand. And I think with the commitment of the player, the staff, and everyone for Thai futsal, they contribute a lot to Thai futsal.
Where next for Thailand?
Is the championship. We will have a championship in Bangkok. This is a very important championship. It's World Cup qualification, and we're going to meet all the Asian team. I expect that we will do very well, because right now we beat every team in Asia already. Japan, Iran, we already beat them. Yeah.
Well, it's been a remarkable rise to fame for Thailand and the futsal, and we wish you all the very best in the future. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck. Thank you.
And Shabby, the Thai manager, 𝐂𝐧𝐸𝐴, there's so many things happening for Thai futsal at the moment. Based on current form, they're probably the best team in Asia.
No doubt about that. They beat the Asian champions Iran, and they deserve to be considered one of the best now. And it is 5 years on from the last time they played in this competition, they have made very rapid progress, and we can see that. I mean, they are a force to be reckoned with now.
It's absolutely fantastic for Thailand, but at the moment we're going to head over to Paul's pitch side with Christian Baruto and one of the team managers from Argentina who's going to do the translation.
Okay, I'm here with Baruto, the number 9 for Argentina, and Gustavo, the Argentine team manager. We'll start with you first, Gustavo. A great, fantastic result for your side today.
All is fantastic. The result is fantastic, and our player play very well. And in the second half, Thailand goes pressure us to try to make many goals, but por suerte, by luck, they don't make do many goals.
You're happy to be in the final. Who would you rather face tomorrow? Would you rather face Brazil or would you rather face Australia?
Sure, Brazil. And we enjoy play with Brazil and play again the final.
Why?
Because Brazil play a very good futsal and we like play futsal.
How do you think this game's going to go? Do you think Brazil can come past Australia? Because the Australians, we know, are very physically strong.
No problem for Brazil.
No problem for Brazil.
No, a very good team.
Okay, I'd like to ask you now, Baruto, how long have you been playing futsal?
¿Cuántos años hace que tú juegas futsal?
Hace 3 años juego en futsal.
¿Futsal de AFA? 3 years. 3 years he plays futsal.
3 years, and is this the first major tournament that he's been to?
¿Es el primer torneo tan importante que has jugado?
Sí.
Sí, es su primer torneo. It's his first tournament.
First tournament. How do you feel coming to a tournament like this and being top of the goal scorers chart? Everybody in futsal in Asia is talking about you.
Todo el mundo en Asia está hablando de vos y quiere saber qué pensás si vas a ser el goleador del torneo.
Ojalá se me dé, ojalá, puede ser, ojalá.
Maybe he won't and he hope do that.
Do you hope that you can play tomorrow and have a bearing on the game tomorrow and score 1 or 2 goals to beat Brazil?
Repeat.
Okay, would he want to play tomorrow so that he can score 1 or 2 goals against Brazil?
Si pensás que vas a jugar mañana y le vas a hacer 1 o 2 goles a Brasil.
Sí.
Yes, he think they are going to go to Brazil.
That was an easy question, really, wasn't it? The final question, does he hope to stay with the national team for much longer? Does he hope to stay with the Argentine national team for many, many years?
How do you stay? I don't...
He stay in the national team. In the national team.
We want he stay many years with us. Sure, he's going to go to Europa, but we want he stay with us many times.
Thank you very much for your time. All the best in tomorrow's final. Thank you.
poor Paul Maysfield over there. It's always hard to have interviews with interpreters. But the main thing is Christian Baruta is so small in his size, he's so shy, only been playing futsal for 3 years, and what an amazing player.
See.
Translation, yes, he's a very good player.
Indeed, I mean, that's unbelievable, you know, to think that he's only been playing it for 3 years. Looks like, you know, he was born playing futsal.
Absolutely. Well, Paul, well done to interview there. It's now time for us to take a break here on Star Sports. When we come back, we'll look ahead to the second cup semi-final between Brazil and Australia. We'll see you after this. And this is what's coming up next live on Star Sports here at the KL World Fives. It's the second semi-final of the cup competition. It's Brazil, winners of Group B versus runners-up of Group A, Australia, and that's coming up next. And it's been a fantastic first semi-final, Shabby, but this one is what everyone's looking ahead to because Australia have been quite a surprise team so far.
Well, they have been. They have surprised everybody. We don't know how much they have progressed, but now it is pretty obvious that futsal in Australia has come on in leaps and bounds, and I think this is only good for them. And I think it's largely due to the fact that since Australia joined the Asian Confederation, they have been competing in more tournaments, and that is always a plus. You know, you've got to test yourself against the best, and today is the ultimate test for Australia to measure how much progress they have made because they're up against the best team in the world.
Yep, and they don't need no introductions. Their opponents today, it's Brazil. We know they're the world #1, and of course, they've been having a fantastic tournament so far. We're just going to show you some of the highlights. They played 4 games. This is day 1 against China, and we always talk about what an attacking team Brazil is. But Chabi, played 4, have not conceded a goal.
Well, that is an unbelievable record, isn't it, in a game of futsal, because it is such a fast game. You know, you get a lot of scoring opportunities, and yet the Brazilians have not conceded a goal. This just goes to show that they have got all-round strength. It's not just about going forward, but the same players like 𝐿𝐸𝐸𝐻, Valdin and all, when need be, can do the defensive work as well.
And this was against 8-time Asian champions Iran, and to run out 4-0 winners just showed what kind of class they are in.
It was a gulf in class, really. When they're up against the best in Asia, they didn't really go full pelt, so to speak, but yet were comfortable winners.
And of course, going forward, we always mention the names of 𝐿𝐸𝐸𝐻 and 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐭. Now, 𝐕-𝐒𝐻𝐭 hasn't been appearing much recently, but with 𝐿𝐸𝐸𝐻 on your side, you can do anything, can you?
Indeed, I mean, he is the best player in the world, as far as I'm concerned. And they had a difficult game against Thailand. Thailand did give them some scary moments. But once again, the class tells, the individuals. I mean, you look at that goal, 𝐿𝐸𝐸𝐻 just stroking it into the back of the net. That's just unbelievable. That is the quality that no team can match.
They obviously were number one in their favorites to win this tournament. How do you think they'll come out and play in the semi-final today?
Well, they will attack the Australians. They will take the game early to the Australians. They'll want to get a couple of goals under their belts before they start showing off their skills. And I don't think, you know, that it will be advisable to sit back against the Australians, who will be very, very physical. So, and judging from the lineup, the very best players are starting.
So confirmation of that, how Brazil's road to the semi-finals. They were winners of Group B, and just look at that. They scored 14 goals and did not concede a single one. And the last one, 𝐿𝐸𝐸𝐻 scored against Holland, was an absolute gem, wasn't it, Chevy?
Indeed it was. 𝐿𝐸𝐸𝐻, possibly, you know, a strong contender for goal of the tournament. And he is the one with the class. It'll be interesting to see how Australia try to deal with him.
And now we're going to take a look at Australia and how on the road, how they got to the semi-finals as well. Seriously, Chevy, they've been a surprise team of the tournament. They started fairly well by beating Indonesia 5-1.
It was a very important win for them. And they did overpower the Australians, the Indonesians. And I must say this, the Australians, they're not afraid to mix it. I know this is a game of futsal, but sometimes they do, I would say, you know, test the referee's patience with some of their physical approach. But it has stood them in good stead, and I do expect that to continue. It was a whitewash of Indonesia in the opening game.
And just like the 11-side game, the Australian, they have a huge physical presence about them, and they always try to use that to their advantage, don't they, Chevy?
They do that. I mean, they're very aggressive in one-on-one. They're very aggressive in protecting the ball. They're very aggressive, you know, when they are attacking as well. And that, I mean, that is what you need to do. If you have that traditional strength, make use of it. But I can tell you, there are some very, very quick-footed players in that team.
And what are some of the players that we should be looking out for in the semi-finals for the green and gold of Australia?
You've got to look out for Giovanelli, the number 4. He is a fantastic player. Lachlan Wright, the captain, again, you know, is somebody who really impresses me. And number 5, Keith, is another one. Gets among the goals as well.
And then this was on day 3. It was another comprehensive and easy victory over the host nations, Malaysia. The golf in class for this match was also very, very apparent. It's just physically, Malaysians were inferior, and also skill-wise.
Oh yeah, I mean, in every sense of the word, Malaysia were inferior to Australia. And Australia, I mean, there's a spring about them. You know, they're very lively on the pitch. You know, they gee up each other a lot. There's a fantastic team spirit going for them, and that is again another strength of theirs, the team spirit that they display.
Well, like we saw in the last match against Argentina, they used their physical side and their prowess to their advantage. Do you see them doing more of this against Brazil as well?
Well, the only way to stop the Brazilians will be to upset them. And I'm not talking about upsetting their rhythm. I'm talking about physically upsetting them, irritating them. There will be a lot of niggly things happening out there, because if you allow Brazil to get into their stride, they will hammer any team in the world. So I do expect Australia to come out with similar tactics as they employed against the Argentinians.
And also, Australia has got a solid goalkeeper in Sintetis, isn't it?
He is again up there with the best goalkeepers in this tournament, and that gives them a lot of strength. Knowing that there's a safe pair of hands behind them allows them to get forward a little bit more.
And now, based on their performance in Group A, coming through as the runners-up, we know that all the other teams have seen them and they will not underestimate them. Maybe not even Brazil.
No, they will not. I don't think, after that performance against Argentina, they have earned respect. And I can tell you that if there is any team who goes into the game against Australia not respecting them, will be in deep trouble. This, I think, is the turning point in futsal in Australia. That performance against the Argentinians, and I can just see now, before the game against Brazil, there's a confidence just oozing out of the players.
And Australia was so close on finishing on top of Group A against Argentina. They were just a minute away. So how do you see this match panning out? The Australians can use their physical size to really just try to intimidate the Brazilians.
They will try to do that, Jen, but I just feel there's too much quality in that Brazilian team. Individual quality is what makes the difference in tight-fought matches, and that is something that nobody has got but the Brazilians, and they have it in abundance.
I tell you what, we've got a match on hands in the second cup semi-final between Brazil and Australia. Now it's time for us to take a break. We'll see you after this.